Good morning to you all. It is an excellent opportunity to be here to report on our efforts preparing the migration to MARC-21. My specific focus will be the national part of our business with some outlooks into the international business. We're in the game. Dealing with bibliographic data formats is usually a very dry business. It has a stark technical focus with some cultural and political and economic implications. MARC has been invented to control data and its output. It is designed to make catalogers work easier, or to teach machines how they can talk to one another about books. And all this to serve the readers, our patrons. Nevertheless, there's more about MARC. There is something like a beauty of a MARC record that is standard compliant. Developing MARC, maintaining it, has sometimes been compared to juggling, to playing. So today I would like to talk to you about MARC in terms of playing, in terms of playing cards. Having said that, this is my outline. I will talk about the layer model that I always think about as a framework of my work. I will have a look back, deal with some major issues. I will tell something about the Marby scenery as I experienced it. I will try to give a first comparison to explain what is internationalization by comparing it to the playing card symbols in Unicode. I will deal with the locally defined format elements and some decisions against common practice. I will give a brief hint about the documentation, and then coming back to the international area, I will talk about some critical voices and the role of MARC as I see it. I will give you an impression of MARC Earth, talk about next steps, and will introduce our solutions so far. So let's begin. The layer model. This time I will use the layer model that I am thinking about to tell what I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about formats today. It's in the middle, you can see it. It has a very indirect relationship to reality. Reality, as we all know, is the most level. According to Woody Allen, it's not the best world that we live in, but it's the only one that you can get a good steak in. So the next meta step from reality would be communication. It's always about reality. And resources then are some kind of embodiment of communication, becoming an entity of its own. And then come the libraries and the catalogers dealing with these resources and having to form rules in order to get them managed. And the next step, the next meta step, is just a container for the data. It's the formats that I'm talking about. Down to the machine level, there have to be shell structures, the ISO structure, for example, or XML, maybe JSON. And they well, they have to be there in order to make the distinction. Is this field 245, or is this the number of pages, 245? And the next step is the coded character sets in order to get the machine handle it on the character level. And the last one, the only one that the machines really do understand, is the level of bits and bytes. So MARC itself may be named a container for a surrogate of an embodiment of a description of reality. And this could cause us to be modest about our business. It is very, very meta from reality. But on the other hand, it's a very powerful tool. Think of a book, and you can be sure that there is a MARC record for this book. So this time I'll just talk about the formats themselves. Looking back, I'll mention the goals, the principles and the working packages, some results and the documentation, and the implementation. Our goal was to internationalize the German and Austrian standard for the exchange of bibliographic and related data. We had to prepare for MARC and freeze MAP, our German solution. Our goal was to become visible internationally and to become compatible. Our principles were: first, be MARC compliant. Second, be MARC compliant. And third, be MARC compliant. And then two more principles: retain existing functionalities and retain the data behind these functionalities. And the fifth one: abandon historic burdens in the MAP format and in our systems.